So continuing on with the decorations and wall stripping, we now have a water-filled radiator that we need to remove off the wall. So before you go any further, just make sure you have some tools and things handy. A few wrenches, pliers, rags, basin, a little sheet of plastic, a bucket for if there's too much water coming out, and a little cuppy thing to empty out the basin. Next, go over to the valve. This one now is a non-twistable one. It doesn't make any adjustment, but what you do is just pull it off, and you'll see here what we need to do then is we need to close this off. So as with the pliers, it's righty-tighty. That seems to be good and tight. Yeah, not moving anymore. And down towards the other one. This is a movable valve, so again, righty-tighty. As tight as you can. And then we're ready to open. Now with the adjustable wrenches, you can see the little nut here, and there's one on the other end. First off, just wrap the rag around the bottom of the pipe, just in case there's any little bit of spillage. Place the basin up against the pipe. Now with the plastic, put that in behind the pipe and bring it out. Put it down into the basin. So you still have access to the valve, and this will help to drain off the water. With the wrench and the little stilson, just put this in here and just get it to this size of the thickness of the valve. This is so when you start to undo the nut, you won't damage the pipe if it tries to twist. Now the nut here actually screws away from the valve, so as you know, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So we're screwing away, so it's counterclockwise, which is down. So once you get the wrench onto it, and then unscrew. So again, we go down, and you can see the water is starting to flow. So loosen it off and just line up the plastic. It'll flow down the plastic and into the basin. If you want to help it flow a little better, you can just pull the pipe ever so slightly away, and you'll see it'll flow down the plastic into the basin. Now you may get a tiny little bit of coming down around the pipe, but the rag underneath should catch that. Depending on the size of your radiator, if it's quite a large radiator and it's going to fill your basin, but you don't want to screw everything back up together and then start again, what you can do then is you can use a little container, take a bit out of the basin, put it into the bucket and continue on. So this may take some time to drain. Now the valves on radiators, they're not actually down at the bottom of a radiator, because as water passes through, you will get little residue, and the residue will sit down the bottom. So that will stop it going through the system and messing it up. And later on, when you take the radiator off, you can run a hose through it, and flush it out. It'll get rid of any of that residue that may have been settling on the bottom. Now it's several minutes later and it's nearly done. What I did was I opened up the bleed screw here, and that helps to flow quicker, and pulling away the valve slightly also helps, and then the water flows into the basin. Now again, the rag behind will probably help. The water has gone down to a tiny little drip. Just move over to the other one. Now leave the rag wrapped around the pipe because it will soak up a little bit of the dripping. Again with this one, use a new rag, old towel, tea cloth, whatever you like, whatever, something that will soak up the water. Same situation. Plastic bag in behind, fold it into the basin. And then make sure this is the right size. You may need a little bit of adjustment. And again with the adjustable wrench, just fit it on and tighten or loosen whatever you need to do. Now there'll most likely be very little water in here because most of it has gone out the other side. But holding this, and again, this time we're opposite, so it's to loosen off, it's upwards. So loosen it there, just pull it away, and you will get a small drop of water, not too much, and it'll flow down into the basin. Now all the water seems to be gone out of the rad, apart from maybe the little bit of sediment on the bottom. Now ideally 2 people. These metal rads can be quite heavy. But ideally 2 people. In my case, what I'm going to do is I've used a ratchet strap. I fed it around the radiator a few times, and rather than going down, bending your back and trying to lift the rad off, feed it around and then you can grab it. Now if you get it right, you can get it in the middle, lift it in the middle, and then you'll be able to tip it over into the bucket and drain off the sediment. So that's what we're going to do now. And you'll see what I'm doing anyway. You have got the idea what I'm going to do. So I'm lifting this and then just tip it over. Again, the ratchet strap is very handy, but if there is 2 people, it can make the job just as easy. So we just get it. That's the rad off the wall. Just place it down in a safe place, and let's just get a look, and you can see what I mean. That's all the sediment is settled at the bottom of the rad. What you can do is, before you put it back on the wall, and you can flush it out, and it'll be good to go again. Now, next step is to strip this wallpaper, and then we can prep the wall, do it and put the rad back on. Now while the rad is off also, you can, once you've cleaned it out, you can give it a rub down and give it a paint, using Radiator paint preferably. Good quality, heat resistant paint, whatever colour you like. Well, thanks for watching another episode of this, and we'll be going on to the next one shortly. Hope you enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up, drop us a comment, like, share, subscribe, and you can find us on the usual social media platforms.